We are still friends. Welcome to the first edition of the Texas Porch. I am JP Heath. Appreciate all of you for tuning in, making time. You can catch us at texasporch.com. Follow us on Twitter, Texas Porch Pod. As always, please subscribe. Give us a nice 5-star rating. That is a big help. Well, what are we doing here, guys? Here is what we have on the show. Obviously, you can't have a show before you get to know everybody, but we'll introduce the guys. We'll talk about years gone by. Story time maybe for later, but also just kind of predictions. What's going to be going on here the next few years, decades? How long will this big old podcast last? So right now, looking at the docket of the guys on, Josh, Kevin, Lamar, Mitch, and Paul. Welcome to the Texas Porch, fellas.
Thanks, JP.
All at once.
Hello.
Go.
Hey!
Oh, excuse me, just for a second here. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
My beverage.
Already have one open.
Yeah.
brought the brewskis.
Well, my beverage of choice is Diet Root Beer. I don't know about you guys. That's how hard I go.
Topo Chico over here. No,
Okay.
not a sponsor
Okay.
yet.
Well, what are we doing here, fellas?
I'm trying to figure out how to take over this show.
It'll happen
Hey,
one day.
I do think it's a unique time to actually launch this podcast when everybody in the country is using some sort of remote voice connection type of thing. And so if we do have any technical problems, I'm sure we'll get a lot of understanding from people.
Yeah, and that's
Wait a minute. JP, why did you get a guy with a better voice on your podcast?
Hey, us radio guys, we stick together. You always have to have somebody better than you. But Kevin is, I think, second in the line of succession as far as, like, if I go down, from a technical standpoint, he's kind of in charge of the show. Is that fair? Kevin, are you up for those?
I did not realize I was taking on that level of
see, that's-
responsibility, JP. But yeah.
It's short-lived. It's short-lived. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah, the 10 episodes were going to last, right? So first off, do a roll call for those that are not from Commerce. We'll get into the history of the show, why the Porch, why Texas, all that fun stuff. But I thought I'd go down the roster. And Josh, he's had to endure my idea for the Texas Porch for, let's just say, a while now. You get it? You get it? Anybody? Okay. Had to listen to that trailer about 500 times before I got it right. But Josh, welcome to the Texas Porch. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to be here.
Okay. So
I'm the only one from not Commerce, so I guess I'm a unique one.
So, I mean, for all the people from London that are listening to this, where's Commerce?
We are in Texas. I am in my East Texas bunker right now, braving out the pandemic, I suppose. Josh and I are still friends. We're close here in the East Texas barracks together. And Kevin, Lamar, Mitch, and Paul are spread throughout. It's something we could talk about. Do you want to talk about where you are? Or?
Well, going back to where Commerce is, if you actually are listening from London, we're Dallas.
Okay.
That's where we are.
Pretty much Dallas.
If you're in Texas, we're about 70 miles up I-30 towards Texarkana from Dallas.
Yeah, and Kevin, you and I talking offline.
That's where we hail from.
We'll talk more, but you kind of scared me straight as far as the royalties. Ben Queller has a song, Commerce, Texas, I wanted to use, but
Yeah.
not Commerce, Josh. How long would you estimate that I've bugged you about this idea? You are free to speak freely.
You have bugged me about this for, I guess, 2 years and off. Like, you bugged me about it so much that my wife doesn't see you much, and she has already been asking when this is going to happen for about 6 months.
So it's been so bad.
It's been a while.
Even the better half is tired of me bringing it up. But yeah, the original idea, well, it goes back to the radio days in East Texas. Josh, for those of y'all that probably do not know, not every one of you, as close of friends as you are, well-versed on my radio history, but Josh, you would come on the show and do what? I know you filled in with Oski on the basement, but you pretty much came on and we just
I
talked.
was-
I guess more like high school football stuff, right?
Yeah, it was more of a high school show. I guess I was almost like a co-host, although I wasn't always there. And then I would kind of be the co-host of the Oski for the basement. And so, yeah, this dates back to, I don't even remember how long ago that was, probably 15 years ago.
Yeah, I had
original
0506. 0506 was my kind of time frame there. Can maybe 07-ish.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Are you super intimidated with all these commerce guys, you being not commerce guy? How do you see? Because that's the one dynamic I was not wary of, because I obviously know you better than the other guys, as laid back as they come. But is there too much Hunt County on the podcast for your liking?
I don't know. Commerce is such an intimidating place across the state.
Better
I'm just
believe
gonna, have to man up and fight my way through it.
Okay. Well, it's happened, Josh. We're here. And for the other guys, Josh told me this would not happen until 2029. And I think I believed him for a while.
Is it actually on air yet?
Overachiever.
That's true. It's not technically on air yet as we record it, but no, I just thought this was a very unique idea. It grew from kind of Josh and me doing radio to, hey, why not have all of us together? So kind of table talk amongst my friends. I don't think there are many shows like this. I'm not Mr. Podcast, but do y'all know of many that have kind of this roundtable type of consistent approach? Or
None
I
that
don't
are
know of a lot. Yeah. Not that I've listened to.
okay.
I mean, we could throw in some like unsolved mysteries in here and get a little more in line with the bigger podcasts,
maybe a little crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows? Maybe it'll come
But
to that.
enough about my past. Okay.
We'll get to you, sir. We'll get. Hey, yeah, you are next on the rundown. So this is Kevin. He's Cowboys nuts and full of outlandish opinions. And now the eternal question, Kevin, do you even know that you're on the show yet?
What show? I thought we were just hanging out, man. I would have had to drink much more if I'd known it was going to be recorded.
Take a shot.
I
And your
took.
fee would have gone up.
I did ask for money, by the way.
Yeah, that's another conversation.
How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Not
How
so
did it
much.
work out? I think I got a chuckle a little. I think.
Are you okay
there-
with the way I portrayed you as? Oh gosh, Kevin's so wacky. He doesn't know what's going on.
Hey, I like to think I know what's going on,
No.
and that is a very tough bubble to burst. Just fair warning.
Yes.
But no, it's good. I actually, I'm probably the next outsider, as the rest of y'all grew up in Commerce. You were around when Commerce. Anybody familiar with high school football? When Commerce's big high school football state championship runs and things like that. You were kind of in the heyday as far as sports go, and football especially in Commerce. I was a Johnny come lately to that, but I did get to be there with you when you called the state championship game for Commerce, JP.
Yeah. First broadcast endeavor way back with the great Scott Garner. So,
And that was a lot of fun.
so you're in radio. Again, I'm leaving it up to you guys. You're in radio, so you've got the broadcast expertise, but our ties go back. I think what I remember outside of these shenanigans at the Pickle Juice game, which will probably be a whole episode in one podcast in football season. But our ties go back to Mazio's, but then kind of our TV classes in there with the great Dr. Haskins and Dr. Saunders, right?
Yes, absolutely. The big Mazio's a good friend of ours. Pat got me a job up there when I finally got my stuff together and started going to college full time.
Okay.
Because a little bit older than you, but we were in the same class or whatever. Started working at Mazio's and became friends there with a bunch of. Well, that probably should be another episode in and of itself too. Running the Mazio's Mafia, as it were, I guess.
Those stories will
and
be
then
told.
Into RTV, and I actually remember you mentioned Scott Garner. He had come to approach me about calling some Commerce Tigers games, and I was a little intimidated about it at the time. And now I've been calling Tigers games for about 15 years now. too.
Award-winning broadcaster Kevin Jeffries, right?
Actually, I think I'm going to win the award this year.
Oh, look,
for
listen
the
to this,
small
guys.
Cocky. Wow.
Okay. Well, now that appearance
just
fee
saying.
did go up.
That's why
It's
you're
not
Wow.
official yet, but I think I'm listed in first place, which would be the first one I've won as doing play-by-play instead of as
Okay.
color commentary.
Yeah, who's
So that would
listening?
be
Who's
fun.
going to know if you're talking about it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations for that award. You're definitely going to win.
Well, thank you. Thank
So
you
that's
very much.
a great segue to our next member, because Kevin and I had the Mazio's tie. So also Mazio's, but also a commerce tie, the great Lamar. Lamar, how are you?
Oh, doing fine, JP. How are you?
Could not be better. And I know I'm safe to talk about this because when I officially asked you if you'd want to do this, not like this is the world-stopping endeavor, but I didn't know if you'd want to do it. So are you offended by A, not being on the trailer, and me not thinking you would want to engage in such tomfoolery as this?
Oh, no, not at all. This is your arena, and I'm obviously less involved with radio than some of you guys and media in general. So I'm excited. It's new territory for me, and my only broadcasting career, I miscalculated some punt yardage and got fired. So I had one game.
It
Yeah,
sounds like you had a lot of potential.
I don't know if I fired you, but Lamar is my spotter. I was doing 40 games, or is it 2000 or 2001? Because we were at Texas Stadium, right?
Yeah.
I'm already laughing thinking about the end of it, but it was a punt, and you said like, I don't know, 47-yard punt when it should have been a 39-yard punt. Whatever, right? Even then, that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't matter. And then I think I look over, Lamar's just sitting down in the broadcast booth. Am I remembering that correctly, or have I kind of padded that with time? Or
Well, the other bit I remember is that, you took it in stride, took the yardage, and went on with your broadcast, and then I sort of tapped you on the shoulder, said, "Oh, I miscalculated that. Here's the actual yardage," and then maybe I left and went to another booth. I don't remember.
okay. And you are, among all the people I know, even closest friends here, and there are others obviously that aren't on the show, but you know the most about a lot of things. Would that be a correct assessment? Are you going to be modest in saying that you don't know a lot about a lot of things?
I think that's pretty ridiculous, but I'll try to help where I can.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to pull up a quiz right now.
That's a good answer.
The man quiz
See,
or something.
people
I've already
listening,
taken 2 shots for Kevin's brags, so that's my new drinking game.
so Lamar is the anti-Kevin.
No. He loves me. I get him drunk.
So Lamar, we have high school ties, Mazio's ties, as well, old pizza ties. So we'll be talking to him, of course. Hey, whenever you come on, are you willing to state your allegiance to your college, all that, or do you care? I forgot to ask you beforehand. So
Oh, sure. I don't care. As long as it's nothing too personal, then
okay.
I'm good with it.
Well, I remember a good college trip out to Lubbock for Lamar's alma mater. It took you longer than some, but I think you've had your education pay off in the end, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I had a victory lap, as what some people call it, but 5.5 years for a bachelor's is pretty awesome.
That's okay.
That is pretty awesome. Stay in school as long as you can, kids. As long as you can.
Yeah.
As long as somebody's paying for it.
And
Yeah.
the depth of Lamar in my friendship goes back because of he would burn me CDs. Is that weird? Is that weird to say one guy burns another guy's CDs? Robert
It's gonna be
O'Keefe.
definitely weird for some people out there.
If it said Love Mix 99 on it with hearts, yeah. I mean, that's not weird, but
No.
I didn't know that about you. So
No, Robert O'Keefe, Pat Green, I think, among others. Like when
there you go.
JP was
Yeah.
ramping up to be college JP, which was still not anywhere near some of my other fellows that I know here. But yeah, so Lamar, thanks. I appreciate it. Now you're on a podcast. Look what that got you. Good job.
Put it on the resume.
Okay, Mitch. Mitch is not in a hostage interrogation video, but he is joining us in the suburbs of Dallas.
How do you even know that?
So Mitch is the world's greatest webmaster. He is, as much as Josh has had me beat him down about the idea, be honest, open forum, how beaten were you night upon night of me saying, no, move that logo here, here's that, here's this, here's that, or is it not really that bad because you're a big-time corporate exec near Dallas and you can handle that?
Yeah, well, when I was able to spare time for you, it was pretty annoying. So I almost withdrew my participation in this entire podcast because of it, and I figured we'd just be distant friends.
Oh, we're still friends.
Yeah. But then it came back to friends, and I thought, what, why not just do it for the guy? What else has he got?
So if you're wondering why the title is "We're Still Friends," that probably that's worth another 5-6 minute story on another episode. I mean that carries some weight, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're still friends, Mitch. I totally blanked. I was going to ask you something else. I had a great segue in there. Oh yes, one of your greatest thrills, besides your children, your wife, all that. One of your greatest thrills in life is my
I wouldn't say
failure.
that.
It's my failure, right? And we have come to call those, and each friend has their own different language and whatnot, but we call those, in that you, Mitch, and podcast Josh, y'all will get along great because you love pointing out my failures, my inadequacies, and all that. So congratulations, you two. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, and there's plenty of content there, so that's why it's so fun.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly. So Mitch,
But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite pastimes is piling on JP wherever possible in any setting.
And again, plenty of ammo, past years, past decades, high school, and beyond. But how would you define a JP moment, as we have tried to over the years? But I think it's kind of a fluid definition. How would you describe it?
Well, JP moment is something you know when you see, and it
Very good.
Sort of foot in mouth, sticking your foot in your mouth kind of situation where you say something, it didn't come out right, or maybe the person misunderstood you because you're not a very smart person. And there's just an awkward moment that ensues.
Yes.
And a perfect JP moment has the person that causes the JP moment, running in shame with his tail between his legs.
Me, not the other person, right?
Ideal JP moment.
Yes. And
you, or anyone. I mean, because now a JP moment is a thing. It doesn't have to deal with JP anymore. It's a worldwide phenomenon.
Okay. Give us a little nibble of, let's say, since we're kind of the theme of the night, I was tying everybody together with our days in Mazzio's Pizza. Thanks to the 90 pounds I gained in college, Mazzio's. Just pick. I'll let you have your pick of the litter for a pile on there. JP moment.
One of my favorite JP moments, and this is missing a little element, but it's
JP?
It's great JP moment. No. It's JP's the center of attention in this one. So back in the day, JP and I were in college, where we both worked at the same restaurant, Mexican food restaurant in Commerce, Texas.
Tamaradios, yeah.
And a group of girls about our age comes in the restaurant, and I don't know if there was a crush going on there, or just JP trying to be kind of suave, kind of cool. He waits on their table. Everything goes well, no screw ups. He didn't spill tea on anyone.
Amazingly.
They're leaving the store, and I in my version, JP has this great thought in his head. I'll just say something kind of cool and chill as they're walking out the door. And so they're walking out, and JP says, "I'll see you lovely ladies, lady." And that was the response of the girls too. And I think JP just sat in the fetal position for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I cried for hours. See, I thought that was at Mazzio's, but if you remember it as Tamaradios. Okay. See?
Yeah, because you thought you were a big shot at Tamaradios.
I wasn't?
Yeah, and you were extra cocky.
What's that? I really don't know. Oh, extra cocky. I thought you said extra coffee. So there you go. See, JP moments inside a JP moment. Get the inception.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
There are many more. There are so
building.
many more JP moments.
The downside.
That, in fact, I'm thinking about starting a podcast called JP. I don't want to step on your toes or anything.
Hey, there's that opportunity. The downside is that as I mature and get older, we have less of them. We've talked about that because it's kind of the white whale now. White whale? Is it a white whale or is it, what whale is it? It's a white one?
Yeah, it's the white whale.
Anything you want.
Okay.
Albatross? No.
Yes. Hey, good timing there, Paul. So, Paul, I was writing down my notes, and all I could remember, because I didn't go back and listen, but Paul tapes ankles for a living, BFF, probably definitely out of the five guys, the longest friend, but we're still friends on here. What are you thinking here, P. Diddy? What are you thinking?
Well, this whole idea kind of, I'm sure we'll get to it at some point. We'll describe where the porch comes from. But this whole thing, yeah, you beat me down with it quite a bit too. And
there you go, Josh. You have company.
But we're good. Yeah, Josh, we're together in this one. But it's it's a great idea because we've always talked about this. And I think if we had recording equipment on a certain trip a couple summers ago, we probably would have had content for a whole year. But we fortunately did not record some of that. But we go back a long way. So, we talked about sports. We talked about this thing being part of sports in life and Texas and yeehaw and all that. So I think it'll be fun. We'll see.
So I wanted to surprise you with this. I sent the guys some prep before the show. I called it homework, I guess, but wanted to prep for a few things. But the one thing I wanted to spring on Paul as an honor, and again, Josh, give it time. You'll get to know P. Diddy here. But I think Paul, out of all 6 of us, is the most Texan of us. Discuss. Any disagreements?
Now, I mean, you're going to have to back that up.
Okay. Here's what I think.
I was born in Dallas, Texas, son.
I think Paul's the most Texan because born in Texas, lives in Texas. I guess that obviously means he works in Texas, but the other joke on the trailer was, and I meant it, you're the biggest man's man. Mitch, a close second. Lamar, a close running for second too. No offense to the rest of us, but Paul builds things. Paul cooks things. He's not a mysterious fellow, but he's Texas. I don't even know what that means.
He does know things.
Useless things most of the time. But.
What do you think of this honor, Paul? I didn't want to get you too hyped up for the show. I knew you'd have been nervous if I gave you this honor, but.
Well, let's put it this way. Can I throw this out there? Does anybody else have a brisket in the fridge ready to go on the smoker tomorrow?
Bragging montage. Wow.
And some ribs.
Yes.
Maybe a cabbage, smoked cabbage. Gonna try it tomorrow. Anyway, well, I don't know. Yeah, I know a lot of useless crap about a lot of useless things, but
okay,
every now and then it comes in handy.
It does.
Otherwise, I don't know what kind of cred that gives me, but.
I mean, we go to Big Bend a few years ago. He whips up some cobbler. Who does that? See, I'm reciting lines from that. Yeah.
All that equipment, all that way.
Yeah.
It was good. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Hey, JP, can we go back to the moment when you said that I was probably second in the man's man race? Because the rest of you guys should feel really insulted right now. I mean, really insulted.
Well, the show's
because
the
that's
Texas
the compliment on my life.
The show is the Texas Porch. You've actually built a deck porch. I think of them as synonymous, but you've built stuff. You've Mitch, for those that don't know, and Wilbur, right? Mitch has a big pig that runs around his backyard.
Fantastic.
Only when there's food involved.
Yes.
But you really shouldn't insult his wife like that.
Jeez.
Wow. First of all, my wife's name is not Wilbur.
Good gosh. Fastball.
That's all I have to say about that.
I couldn't resist.
Fastball.
No, Don, apologize. Just tell your wife she can hit me with a bat next time if she sees me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's Kevin.
That's right.
Getting used to know the
Praying
voices.
it's a wiffle ball bat.
Kevin, many outlandish claims. One of them is that he hit 1,000 in Little League. So I can't let
For most of the season, I think I finished around 800.
Okay,
One
okay,
in
yeah.
bat doesn't count.
Who's counting?
No, I got like 3 at bats, and we were the good Quinlan team.
Okay. We can't be here all night or day, guys, whenever you're listening. But sports allegiances. So, Josh, you've been kind of the bottom of that Commerce dog pile for a little bit. But you are the one outlier with the rest of us for the most part, would you say? I mean, we're Dallas area folk. But would you say for the most part, though, obviously one big exception, I'll let you answer and I'll shut up. But sports allegiances wise, are you the biggest? Are you going to feel backed up into a corner because of your rooting lines here?
I know I'm pretty good. My favorite baseball team is the one that probably everybody gets to make fun of now. So they're the Astros. At least they win. I mean, we can talk about how they win, but no, I like Houston teams. I like the Astros, I like the Rockets, but the Cowboys are the one that I probably share with all of y'all. So that's kind of where I lie on my allegiances. So Astros are the
Astros and
one
the Cowboys, huh?
team I've got.
Astros and the Cowboys, huh?
Astros, Cowboys, and Rockets. Yeah.
But are you a bigger Astros fan or Cowboys fan? What's your
I would say probably Astros, actually. Maybe that's since they've been good lately. I don't know. But I watch more of them, but they've got a lot more games.
typical bandwagon Astros fan there?
Well, hey, it's cool, Josh. You might be able to hook us up because my dream guest or one of my dream guests for this podcast is that Astros trash can. I'd love to get it on the show.
Maybe something could be worked out.
Goodness.
I did a tour of their sometime last summer about it, and I wasn't aware how famous the trash can was at the time, or maybe I could have got a selfie with it.
That would have been so awesome.
Yeah, Josh takes his daughters, all his kids. He's got 3 girls, 1 boy, and he takes them. He's got one daughter in particular that, again, I don't know how much you want to say, Josh, but she will be a regular character eventually on the show. We're going to pick some games, and she is known for her very hot sports opinions. So,
Yeah, kind of out there. She's in depression right now because there's no open to get out of school early tomorrow for her. But yeah, usually her pick is Astros 162-0 and Rangers 0-162. She sticks with it every year. So.
and
at least she's consistent.
She's not a huge Rougned Odor fan either. All right, Lamar. Would you say this is a fair statement as far as sports allegiances? No one else, including you, is super crazy sportsy, probably besides Josh. I mean, I know you don't know Josh, but you know Kevin, you know everybody else. Like a long-winded way of asking you, are you super sportsy as well, Lamar?
No, I wouldn't say super sportsy, and I watch a good bit, but no.
Okay. Our scenario is coming true. Remember we talked about giving up sports a while back? You remember this? Maybe it was sports specific when we talked about the NFL.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Got really frustrated with the NFL and the Joneses and all that stuff.
So you're not like glued still, you're not going to watch Cowboys games, but mainly Rangers. You'll go to some Red Raiders games. No Mavericks though, really?
Well, I have a dilemma now. I got married a few months ago to someone from North Dakota. And
Well. Didn't tell us this.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a dilemma coming.
Okay. Late breaking news.
Huge dilemma coming. No, but she's a Vikings fan because they don't have a team. And so now I find myself watching Vikings games. So there's a lot of holes in my arguments and opinions about being frustrated with the NFL. But no, I still watch the Big Four, and I watch golf too. So I mean, I'm sportsy, but I'm not a fanatic.
Yeah, that's the one big thing I see in addition to being a close friend, that the golf side of things, above the rest of us, you can, I don't know how fervent you are with keeping up with it, but at least you know the game. You played at a decent level, right? That's fair to say. High school, not beyond, but I mean, you can kind of be our golf aficionado.
Oh yeah, 3A high school golf. I'm your man.
In East Texas.
Yeah.
So Kevin, obviously, Cowboys crazy. That is your team. But where do the other? Since we know that, and we've already kind of established that. But where do the other ones fall in the pecking order for you?
Well, it's as you said, Cowboys and NFL football are really my main thing. After that, it's Dallas sports team. So we would be like Mavericks, Rangers, and Stars. And then as a sport, I probably like hockey, the second most to football. I don't necessarily follow it as much as I used to, but after that, I will say at your bachelor party, I got a new appreciation for basketball. It was the playoffs for the Mavs in 06, and it was a different experience. Having a crowded room full of people. We were at a sports bar.
Oh yeah, that's
hanging
right.
out, everybody cheering. It was a really intense experience. And it kind of drove home one of my big opinions about sports is that football is the only sport that's better to watch on TV. Every other sport is better to be at the game.
Okay. I had forgotten that.
But
I was thinking we were at the actual game, but now that you said that, I do remember that we were at that wing establishment.
Remember I brought you midget strippers.
Drink.
All right. How long did it take? How long did it take to get to midget strippers in this whole deal?
34 minutes. 34 minutes by my timing.
I second that memory. Yeah, I remember that too, Kevin.
That's okay.
All right.
Tease for future episodes. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can say the M word anymore. That
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Little strippers.
Stripper is okay.
And for the record, for my church group that's listening, they were not actual little people.
There was a threat of, but I don't know that
Yeah.
it ever actually came to fruition.
Pay off.
Yeah,
So,
no.
Cannot confirm nor deny.
all right, Paul.
It was more like a robot chicken version.
Yeah. Teeny tiny. So, Paul, you made the joke that made the trailer. Congratulations. Tell your grandkids one day. But you're not always watching all the sports, but you are in the middle taping ankles with the best of them. So does that kind of scare you away from any potential sports talk? But you're, like I already gave you the props. You're the Texan guy. So,
well, I mean, I like to know that the Cowboys and Rangers are doing all right, which for many years now has not been the case. So it's cool when they are doing okay. Oh, they won. That's cool. But I don't, I spend most of my day dealing with sports, which is great. I picked that profession for a reason, medical side of things. But I don't have a lot of room left once I've done that all day long and all week long to fill my weekends in front of the tube watching more sports. I mean, if it's on, it's on. I'll watch. I'll try to. Cowboys are going to be on the TV. But usually it's in and around whatever else is happening in my crazy life with these. With my munchkins and whatnot. So I like for them to go. I like to go sit in a Ranger game. No, don't get me wrong. It's going to be better if we ever play baseball again inside because, going to watching a couple of Astros games with you over the years has been fun because it's inside. It's Houston in July and it's not, exactly pleasant outside, but it's not in Dallas either. But I like things to happen. I like to watch sports. I like for it to happen, but it doesn't rule my life outside of my normal day in and day out job. So
you have the right perspective on it, right?
I guess. I mean, it works for me. So I don't get any heated arguments about, oh, well, the Cowboys are going to do it again. No, they're not. I mean, it's been 30 years or whatever. I don't know. Like I'm not sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for that to happen. If they do, great, I'll go, but I'll go watch. But there you go.
And Mitch, when you are not in China, across the globe in your corporate exec private jet lifestyle, you are soccer dad and I mean this as honestly as I can, you're pretty meh towards sports, or like you'll still watch it. So I remember we had a cable conversation. Yeah. I guess it's been ongoing, but you don't.
I think I'm not meh about. I mean, sports. I guess I'm more in Paul's camp here, where
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was a huge sports fan as a kid, right? I mean, just did it all, collected the cards, watched everything, was excited about everything, knew all the players, and then I think I just probably watched a little less and less of it as I got older, and ever since we got rid of cable and just went with the online stuff, I kind of dropped watching day to day sports. So I catch the big stuff, but I probably read more about sports than I do watch.
Mm-hmm. And is it safe to say Kevin too? I know Kevin will butt in here in a second. I love you, Kevin. But as the political, I don't want to say junkie. Yeah, no, that's the polite word. You are a political junkie.
Completely. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I'm a
Why in the
submitted
world? Like we've
junkie.
talked. This is an on-air and an off-pod conversation. Like why in the world? Because I'm very apolitical these days, but.
Well, first of all, right now, I mean, in the Trump era, politics is it's awesome. It's the most divisive, strategical. There's a lot going on, and people are very animated about it. So I like to be the guy who sits back, watches it, and enjoys it. The other thing is politics is, it's much more real than than most things that people enjoy. There's more going on. It's at the top of the government, so it has an effect on everybody. It kind of has historical, references to it. So I don't know. It's just enjoyable.
I would like to, jump in on that topic. And Mitch is very level-headed in his politics, and I think we agree on a lot of things. Is that one general philosophy? Is you talked about the Trump era. I wish politics, and I think politics should be boring. If it's boring, then things are normal and proceeding fine. It's when it gets exciting that maybe there might be problems. So it's a good time to pay attention, and it's important. I wish people did reserve their fanaticism for sports as opposed to politics, but politics is more important. It does affect all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Politics has direct effects on our lives, whether people think it does or not. It does.
I just think things have gotten so polar over the last few years. And I don't know, one side or the other. I mean, we all probably have one way we lean, whichever it is, but I can't even find the middle anymore sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just old man, get off my lawn, but it's like, what's the middle? Even where is it anymore? I tend to fall in the middle most of the time, but where is that? Because they're so polar opposites. Like it's so far you can't even see them. You can't stretch out and reach and touch either end because it's so out there.
And I think that's a fair point.
Yeah, I debated the whole time.
Makes it fun.
Yeah, for you.
There you go.
I debated the whole time. How much do we get into it, like over the course of the podcast? Because, like we'll predict and joke about here in a second, however long this thing lasts, like I want people to listen for a bunch of different reasons, but still, on the bottom line, be entertaining. But unfortunately, these days, the politics, you just mentioned it, it just sets people off. So hopefully, you two guys can educate us and get all of the. Yeah, this just came to me. You can take all of the trash tweets and emails that come our way, the politics stuff. So y'all can be the politics guys and take all that heat. Okay, are you ready? It is prediction time, guys. Prediction time. You are given some homework. First off, did everybody, I think we talked about that pre-show, everybody do their homework?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I did, teacher.
Okay. Josh, Lamar?
Yeah, I got mine.
Minimally, but enough.
Yeah, minimally. I like that.
Some questions I couldn't quite answer, but yeah, I did the homework.
Yes. When I ran them past the better half, she clarified a lot of things. So I think I'll be a little clearer now after her direction. But what I wanted to do is, again, we'll have bits, we'll have fun, we'll have games, and like predictions. Obviously, just predicting games if they ever do play games again. But I thought it would be kind of a long game to track some stuff, and we'll find the medium, we'll find the mechanism to do it. But I don't know how confusing it was, so I'll just spit it out. But I wanted to get to some guests because I think a big part of the show will be getting a good audience, and that means having better guests. And how can we attract better guests? Okay. So obviously a Texas theme show, so we're going to have Texas guests on here. Each of us, as you've already found out the last 40 plus minutes, we have a little bit of different stuff to offer, but an underlying sports theme in all of us. So my podcast / our podcast, I'll kind of get us going, and then I want you guys to fill in, and so we can make like a top 10 list, hopefully, of these different categories of guests. Make sense? Yes, no, maybe. Okay.
Sure.
All right, let's go. So I thought the top 3 to 5 Texas guests, and we'll add and subtract as we go throughout the life of the show, but these will kind of be the big ones. Then, Josh, I'll go to you after this one because this relates. Ones that I know I can get. So 95% probability guest I know that PJ Health could get, okay? Number 1, and again, it's kind of in an order, but it's not. I tried to rank them as far as close to us and our rooting interests and all that, blah, blah, blah. But the number 1 would be Des Bryant on my list. Josh, would you agree on that one?
I would agree on that one, and he'd be there on mine just because of the history I have with him. But I can't guarantee. But I think with some work that could happen.
Yeah. See you guys.
So you have established relationship with Des Bryant.
Yep.
Well, I'm a sports editor for Lufkin Daily News, and he played for Lufkin when I covered him. So obviously, when he was here, I probably did 20 stories on him. And after that, I even did some stories when he was at Oklahoma State and with the Cowboys. And probably the last time I actually talked to him was about 10 years ago. So I can't totally guarantee, but I think I could make it happen.
Okay. Yeah, and I feel bad because I feel now like I kind of stole your answer, but I was thinking as a big group, but I knew that you might have that one. But
Hey, if y'all pull your power there, that makes it a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love Des Bryant. So that'd be fantastic.
Why don't you just like right now say, hey Des, I know you're listening. Why don't you come on the show?
Think how many
Definitely listening.
Hey Des, what's up?
We're best friends.
Okay, so after Des, this might defeat the point. If you don't know who this is, you should know the more sporty you are, but Elvin Hayes. Do we hopefully know who Elvin Hayes is? Please, sports fans.
Yes.
Okay.
Good one.
Yeah. Kevin, be honest. Lamar.
No, you're going to have to remind me.
Okay.
I'm out.
Elvin Hayes, Houston Cougar legend, and named a top 50 NBA player of all time.
Oh, yes.
Played for the Rockets
NBA.
and the Bullets. But does the color for the Houston Cougars broadcast, and I should have mentioned. Yeah, the Big E. Should have mentioned, sorry, Rice bosses, but 45 minutes in, do the Rice games for those that do not know. That sounded cocky. I didn't mean it to, but I've talked to Big E, and oh my gosh, I was thinking, I am talking to the Big E. And he had, y'all remember this pic? I'm sure y'all follow me on Graham, right? Does that sound too hip or not hip enough? Totes, man. It looked like he was reaching into his vest pocket. Like, what is this guy doing? Posing for a picture with me. But anyway, I got Elvin Hayes connections. This one is not a surprise. Wayne Graham, college baseball Hall of Famer, Texas Sports Hall of Famer. Is that cheating for me to get the former Rice baseball coach on?
No, it's great. It's great.
Okay,
Cool.
Yeah, and I thought we'd have
hey, fun fact, JP. If you want my help getting the Big E on the show, we share a birthday.
Really?
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Indeed.
You need to lead with that when he comes on.
Okay.
And I
In fact,
I'll just talk
let's
about
get him on
Scorpios
your
the whole time.
birthday, on y'all's birthday. That will be. Now we have a target date.
Hey, it might happen
That's-
because the Owls and the Cougars playing basketball next year. I don't know when it'll be, but anyway. So also Rice related, Josh. Again, your sports pants might go crazy here. Lance Berkman. Again,
Lance Berkman, that would be a good one. I've got a former boss of mine that was halfway friends with him back when he started with the Astros. So I don't think I could make that one happen, but you would have a much better, you'd have 100 times better shot than I would.
the other one, again, Josh, not to single out the non-Houstonites, but Jose Cruz. Think I can get him too. It's not easy.
Which Jose Cruz?
Cheo, the old school Astro.
Legendary Astro.
Heck, his son too, but I think
just making sure because his son did play for Rice, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got that one.
So those are my 5. First category, top 3 to 5 Texas guests. I know I could get. I think are Des Bryant, Elvin Hayes, Wayne Graham, Lance Berkman, Jose Cruz, all. Of course, Jose played for the Astros.
Confident.
Yeah, I know, right? It's gonna come. Yeah. So Josh, what's your list? Give me a couple. Do any of them differ? On, I guess they obviously all do. Some of them do, but talk.
Well, Des is the one. Des is the one up there, especially for y'all Dallas sports nuts. That I figured I could make that work somehow. And the rest of my list isn't as good as yours. I know I can make Brandon Belt work. He's the starting first baseman for San Francisco Giants.
There
Has a
you
couple
go.
World Series rings. He actually graduated high school with my brother, and I covered him back when he was in high school.
Mhm.
And he's around town all the time. So he's one that I know I could make work. After that,
Hey, quick pause
I'm trying
button.
to think what overlap.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, your tie with Brandon Belt. Remind me.
Yes, sir. So I was covering the Coppell Copperheads of the Texas Collegiate Baseball Wood Bat League a few years ago, and he took a few swings. And when I say took a few swings, I mean he used every inch of those gigantic arms and legs to smoke some balls all over East Texas. So,
See, I
yes,
thought
sir.
I thought he was on one of the teams that you're a trainer for in summer league.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was saying. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was doing.
All right. I'll
So,
shut up now.
yeah,
Stop.
it was awesome. Yeah, he and Brock Holt too. Not to
Yes.
interrupt things, but the Brock Holt was a
Yes.
part of those teams as well.
The now Milwaukee Brewer Brock Holt. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, sir.
So, Josh, I kind of interrupted you there with Brandon, but anybody else besides Mr. Belt and Des?
Another one I was thinking that I could work is because I've actually interviewed him before. Hall of Famer, Washington Redskins, Ken Houston.
Yes.
He's from Lufkin, and I've talked to him before, and he knows people around here. Like most of these, obviously not my best friend, but I think I can make that one happen.
NFL Hall of Fame. I guess you might have said that, right?
I did, but that's okay.
Okay. All right, guys.
And
Oh, did you have more? Sorry.
outside of that, I mean, there's some current NFL players and former NFL players that I could most assuredly get, but I don't know how much y'all would care for them. Like Dom Muehlbach, Lions deep snapper, Reggie McNeil, former A&M quarterback, Jaworski Lane, former A&M running back. Those are all that I could make happen, but I don't know how interested a whole bunch of people would be in having those 15 years after they're graduated.
Hey, all of those guys would be fun to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jaworski Lane was at he was at the baseball game I was covering a couple weeks ago, back before everything was shut down. So they're all, and I covered them all in high school. So most of those I can make work, and most of them pretty neat guys to talk to.
Episode 1, and Havard is adding value already. Good scouting option by old Heath here. All right. Let's see. Lamar, anybody? Those first couple, I didn't know how you would take to this. If you would give me an OJP, or what do you think? You have any? Get Danny Amendola, your Texas Tech ties.
Well, that would be great.
Or Wes Welker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I knew those guys. I mean, there's a couple of basketball players, pretty prolific behind the three-point line. Commerce Tigers, they're on the show. I could interview them, but I don't have the same sort of media connections or sports business connections. So I don't know where I fit in this part, but I'll definitely enjoy hearing you guys talk to people.
They would, the guys you mentioned would just twist their ankles on the same game. Like that could ever happen.
I remember some big games in the ETSU Fieldhouse. That was a lot of fun. So
Yes.
good job, Mitch and JP. You entertained us.
More so Mitch.
I would charge extra for any kind of cameo appearance.
Yeah, Mitch, Steph Curry before Steph Curry, Mitch from deep. I'm sure you've heard those stories, Kevin. All right. So, Kevin, what do you have?
Well, I could get the an amazing first-class broadcaster. He's the voice of the Rice Owls.
Okay,
I
yeah,
could
let's-
get JP Heath.
He's
on
busy.
here. I guarantee.
Nice.
Guarantee I could get it.
He will not return your
I hear-
text, I'm sure.
Other than that, I mean, talking about like sports figures, I think a commerce-based podcast might have some possibility of pulling in Wade Wilson.
Well,
Buddy. Ouch.
who's your
Yeah.
next?
Next, what happened?
Oh,
Buddy, he died a few months ago.
Oh, that's
So-
right. Oh, well, okay.
How's it going, Commerce?
Yeah,
Hey, Comers, how about you?
I
Wait.
forgot about that. All right.
Killed
Well,
JP. I think the show is
I
actually
must have. Well,
JP
there you go.
JP's gone.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Episode
Is he laughing? He really shouldn't be laughing.
On the first episode, you did that. I didn't know if it was serious or not, but
No, I actually wouldn't have made that joke. I wouldn't have made that.
even, yeah, I know you
Okay.
would not do that intentionally, but
Good.
good.
No, I mean that
Gosh.
would speak to either your ability to edit that out, or
Oh my god, that was
It's
the
good
best
content.
moment.
It's very
What are you
good.
talking about?
I literally came across his funeral flyer on my desk earlier
Yeah.
today, shuffling
Oh,
things around.
yeah,
Yeah.
or how tragic
May
it
he
was.
rest
He
in
was
peace.
taken before his time, and
May he
so
rest
it,
in peace.
Indeed.
it really didn't
Hey, man, I'm
didn't-
sorry, but we're gonna have to move on now.
sit in with me. Yeah,
Can you set a
that's-
timeout for a little bit, Kevin? That's
yeah, yes. I will take a timeout.
Good gosh.
Just for a little bit of reference, that there's a little bit of a JP moment in there.
Yes.
Oh
little
yeah. There
Yeah.
you go. There you
Congratulations.
go.
And for those that do not know, okay, let's put it in perspective. And we like last year, we said, hey, this would be a good topic. But we'll never do a podcast together. The top athlete maybe ever from Commerce, our little town in Northeast Texas, was Wade Wilson. Guys, right?
About
Yeah.
that, didn't I?
Yeah, gotta be.
And one of our Porch bunkmates, oh gosh. Anyway. Tapes JP here, and that was the only spot I think I could have ended episode 1. And man, oh so unfortunate for our Commerce friend Kevin. But what we didn't get to in the live unveiling of that most gruesome mishap by Mr. Jeffries is that Wade Wilson's mom taught Paul and me 4th grade math. And hey, what's up? You are listening to the Wade Wilson Scholarship recipient in high school. Anyway, I'm sure you gathered. It was a very awkward moment. But as Josh said in the group text after the show, I would have set Wade Wilson mentions at 0.5 for the history of the show. Kevin passed it on the first one in the most erroneous of ways. But I hope you had as much fun with part 1 of We're Still Friends. Part 2 is coming up. Please remember to check out our snazzy Mitch design, thetexasporch.com. If you'd like to match some funny faces with our funny words. All the guys are on Twitter, but hey, it's my idea. So episode 1, follow me and the show at Texas Porch Pod. Email us texasporchpod@gmail.com. And find our Facebook page at, you guessed it, the Texas Porch. Until next time, please subscribe on all the many fine outlets. If you'd be so kind, please rate us 5 stars in the iTunes app and drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you, where you're listening from, And if you've ever stepped in it like Kevin just did, still can't believe it. Anyway, have a great day, great night, whatever it should be. God bless. Stay tuned for episode 2 of the Texas Porch.
Oh, that's right. Oh. Well, okay.
How's it going, Commerce?
Yeah.
Hey, comers, how about you?